Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 premium SPG that we know and love as Fifi La Pew Pew. You might know as a Leffy or a leaf blower, or if you happen to be jingles, it's leFH18B2. This one is on the North Spawn of Mines, and it's under the command of Mr. Wiggly. Well, he advised us that he had a great battle just the other day, and he sent this one in. I think you'll probably enjoy it. We've had a lot of replays featuring the 105 leFH18B2 recently, and some of them have been absolutely spectacular. Now, rather unusually, he's actually taking it up onto the plateau above the cap area. It's quite dangerous coming up here because obviously the tank destroyers are normally here, and if you get spotted, you can be on the receiving end of a lot of fire. In fact, actually, he's kind of backed himself into that little corner there, but he's now ready to shoot, and he's starting to aim. First target he's going for is the VK3001P. He's landed in a Tier 7 game, Tier 5 Arty, so let's see how he gets on. Rounds out. First shot hits the front of the VK. He managed to get 190 hit points, but he's changing target. He's just seen a P43 turret, which is a medium, and he thought that he might get more hit points off that guy. Well, there's a Panzer VF18B2, which is a premium. Smacks him in the side for 50 hit points. Obviously, those side skirts, those Schützen, actually act as protectors for the side of the vehicle because they pre-detonate the shell before it actually hits the side of the vehicle. They certainly work against heat rounds, but in the case of an HE round, they will still allow damage to be done. It just means the explosion occurs a little way away from the side of the vehicle instead of directly against the side. Well, he's trying a number of shots against the enemy Arty, or the enemy tank there, the Chinokai. At least I think it was a Chinokai he was aiming for. He's now going for the P43 turret again. Dials in, rounds out, and yes, he hits him in the front there for 123. Switches to the Panzer VF18B2, and oh, that was a big one! That hit the side of the turret, but it actually did more damage than the previous shot. 437, in fact, that is a penetrating shot. 410 alpha, penetrates 53 millimeters of armor. Oh, that one missed. Okay, you can see the tracer from the enemy Arty coming out from this area. Now, he's decided against shooting at the enemy tanks and has now decided to go counter battery because he saw that tracer. I'm going to have to wait for the enemy to fire. The enemy is also in a PP, but I think he's moving between individual positions because I could hear some destruction going on. Instead, he's switching back to the tanks. There's the Chinokai. And he's being very careful to move back under cover in between shots. Makes it difficult to get shots on him when he does that. The enemy is starting to come around the other side of the hill, and he's noticed that. I saw it on the mini-map. Always keep your eye on the mini-map just in case. Nearly always something happening. Going for the AT2. First shot goes over the top. This is where the heat rounds will be really helpful. He's got 6 heat rounds to play with. That's a hit. 50 hit points. Needs to keep pumping those rounds in or fire one of those heat rounds which will penetrate through the armor and take him out. But he's gone anyway. The kill shot went to the Chi-2 tank destroyer. Yes, the new tank destroyer that's come into the game, which is a Japanese tank destroyer, was actually a self-propelled gun in the war. That's what they were used for. Oh, we can hear the rumble of the enemy Arty in the distance. And in fact, the shells are landing nearby where we're located, but they're not going after us. They're going after the tank destroyers. So I get the feeling that the enemy tanks over this side of the map have spotted the tank destroyers on the plateau. Okay, 2 good targets to go for. A Ho-Ni, which of course is one of those Japanese tank destroyers again. Trying to line up a shot. The Ho-Ni of the type Tier 5. Again, another SPG. which has been called the tank destroyed by Wargaming. Oh! Penetrating shot right on money. In fact, he was lucky because he was aiming to one side of it, but it hit the target bang on. Okay, we've lost sight of the enemy tank destroyer that was in those bushes, but he did just get a hit. He switched to the other side. Okay, inside the hill, we've got a T-37. He's dialing in, getting ready. Not on target yet. I don't know, something must be distracting him. Okay, now he's lined up. Rounds out. And a kill shot. 110. Very likely that penetrated. Now we've got a Super Hellcat trying to cross the South Island. One of our guys is already over there, which is going to help because that guy won't be able to go in straight in unless, of course, he wants to risk getting wiped out. And that gives Wiggly a chance to actually wipe this guy out. And he's gone. Arty 2 managed to get him. We're 2 up on the enemy now. Now we're going for the Churchill 1. He's going to start taking rounds on the side from the T-34-100. Or is he? No, because the T-34-100 was wiped out in the end. Okay, can we get a shot on this Churchill? He's moving rather quickly. Line up the shot. Rounds out. This looks good. Yes. 149. Over to the east, we've got a Comet. And there's a Cromwell B somewhere next to the hill. Okay, he's looking around here. He doesn't have a huge amount of rounds left. He's got 28 rounds. Just fired blind. Say, when you get low on ammunition, you need to conserve it. 27 rounds left now. You normally have 50 rounds of ammunition. He's selected to have 6 rounds of heat and 4 rounds of armor piercing. Now, although armor piercing does have the penetrating power, almost have the penetrating power of the heat rounds will go through 104 millimeters. The AP will go through 64 millimeters. They both got 350 alpha, but you do need to get a direct hit with the armor piercing and with the heat rounds in order to get the effect. The armor piercing is just slightly cheaper than the heat rounds. And that Cromwell B is a one-shot. He can splash him to death. All he needs to do is look from above and try and line up the shot, and he can splash him. Okay, P-43 backs up. Fire around him, but no, he doesn't back up enough. He knows he's in trouble there. We're 3 up on the enemy now. There's only 4 of them left. Nobody can spot the P-43 now. He's counting on that to get a couple of shots in. Ideally, one of our tanks, such as the AT-2, needs to get closer. Meanwhile, the VK3001H, or as Jingles likes to call it, the VK3001H. Well, actually, Jingles, it's a 30-ton tank. That's why it's got the 30. Oh, he got a fire! Did he get the kill? Yes, he did. Oh, no, he didn't get the kill. Sorry. The kill went to the Cheetah in the end. Yes, it's and there's the enemy Arty. So, one shot in, snapshot. Missed it. Try it again, let it settle. Oh, and he's gone to the Cheetah again. That means there's only 2 enemies left. Yes, Jingles, the VK3001. 30 means it's a 30-ton tank, and the 01 meant it was the first design, and the H-bit meant it was Henschel that came up with the design. I thought it was quite cute that he called it the 3001. There we go. Mind you, he knows a lot more about the various other games that I've never even touched. So, we're down to just 1 enemy tank left. It's a Cromwell. Should be somewhere on the east side of the map. And we're going to sit here and wait for them to spot him. One of those Cheetos out there, or Cheeto, I think is his correct name, has got a Top Gun already. I have seen a lot of ace tankers in the game, and, well, Mr. Wiggly decided not to participate in the death of that Cromwell. And that's the end of the game. It's a victory. Well, that was a busy game, and that was also an ace tanker for Mr. Wiggly in the 105 leFH18B2. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this one. He got 14. He got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle, and he also got a Confederate for taking down more tanks than anyone else. Not taking them down, but damaging more tanks than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken down by other teammates. His win rate from that one was 7,275 Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score, and we'll see where he was. Well, he didn't get the highest damage. That went to the Cheetah. He managed 3,413 hit points of damage in that game and got the high caliber. He also picked up a Top Gun. Second highest damage went to Mr. Wiggly. He got 3,056, so he was working very, very hard in as well. And the third highest damage in the game went to the P-43 Tour on the enemy team, 1,635. When it came to kills, it was the G2 again. He got 6 kills out of that game. 3 kills went to the IS and the P-43 Tour on the enemy team. And 2 kills went to Mr. Wiggly, the T-37, the Churchill 1 on the enemy team, and their T-37. When it came to base XP, he's in second place because the G2 managed 1,473, and then Mr. Wiggly got 1,138. They were the only 2 players to get over 1,000 base, and both of them did very well indeed. He fired 29 rounds, so he got through 3/5 of the ammunition, 14 direct hits on the enemy, 4 penetrating shots, and 14 splash damage of 3,056 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 9 of the enemy, killed 2, so that's a pretty emphatic Confederate. He earned 38,738 credits from that game because he didn't use any of the premium rounds, and he got 30 bonds as well, which for a mission achievement, and 2,390 experience points altogether. So he's just having a bit of Fifi fun. We've had a lot of games submitted to us recently featuring the Fifi. I think a lot of people are enjoying it, actually. In fact, they're finding that it's probably one of the only few Artys on their game that hasn't been nerfed by wargaming. So if you do have a replay, do please send it in the correct way. There is a link, or if you look in the description to every video, which is just below the header, you'll actually see that it does explain how you can submit a replay. You upload it to a replay site, then you send the link to that replay site, to the actual replay itself, to the email address that's listed, and then obviously I can have a look at it. If you just send in the replay as it stands on with the replay file, I won't look at it. I'm not going to upload it myself. I'm just going to let the replay or the email sit in my folder until somebody actually sends me the proper link, because after all, you know, it is up to you. If you want your replay done, you need to send it in. And I would also say to some players, if you are going to go and criticize somebody else's replay and say, I've got a better replay than that, send the replay in so we can actually see it. But be careful about criticizing other players, because remember, we are what Arty noobs. We do have players who are just starting out, as well as experts, unicums, super unicums, players who really get ace tankers all the time. So if you really have got a better replay, is it better than some of the top players on our team? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see. But if you enjoyed that game, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.